Hey guys, welcome to this week's recap of RuPaul's Drag Race episode 15, Reunited. Guys, we are reunited with the queens. Our girls are back. And I'm not gonna lie, I forgot some of these girls were even in this competition. I was so gagged. I was like, oh my god, Princess Poppy! And I thought her look was hilarious. I like that she kind of stood out for me, Her style is something else, that is for sure. So I'm also excited that these twins are back. I'm here for double trouble. Because it's not just good enough just to have one, but to have two. Ooh. And this episode is super long. I had so much fun with this episode. Let's get into it. So first, we talk about Mistress and Mistress taking things from the workroom. I really thought that was just a joke, just a gag, but these girls are serious. Even Rue was like, no, really, girl, you really took stuff from the workroom. And I was so gagged. I was like, no, she didn't. No, she did not. Okay. I think of it as a setup of getting your own workroom, pretty much, so you have your own space. Because these girls cannot share a room studio with Mistress. No. You're gonna end up missing a wig, missing some cosmetics, missing some shoes. No ma'am. So we get to hear from the twins, and it's really just the two brain cells having their funny moments and their funny kiki. And we get into the girls talking about their eras. So, since Irene Dubois, she was eliminated in the first episode, she used this Reunited episode to really get in her scenes and get in her moments. So Irene, she's really taking up this moment because, for her not being in the competition long, she has some making up to do. And I was here for that. I'm like, girl, get your moment, take it, have it. Okay. So every queen, we talk about how every queen wanted to be amongst the top two. No one was wanting to talk about being top one, the number one, but everyone wants to make it about the top two. So we get into the drag delusion, the shady mistress, and Lucy thinking that every week she should have one moment. So, oh my God, we have to address the whole situation with Lux versus Lucy. And, everyone gave it to Lux. They feel like Lux really snatched that moment, just about when Lucy was eliminated. And we get to talk about this, But Lucy here in this Reunited, I really do feel like she was so much more calm and she was having much more fun. She was able to laugh and gag about the situation. But, later in the episode, I felt like she was taking some shots at Lux, and I'm like, oop, the social media is going to be acting up. So I kind of enjoyed Lucy. At this point, I was liking Lucy. I have some things to call out a little bit later about Lucy, but right now she's doing good. She's being cool. She's being loose. We get a special message for Lucy, and it's from Kevin Bacon. And her performance in Wig Loose was so phenomenal. Everyone loved this, particularly Kevin. So he gave her a little shout out, and she was so gagged because on Twitter she got a shout out from him. So to see him in person, for him to leave a video message for her, what an honor. That's amazing. And then we also learn about, we also talk about Lucy LaDuca's viral song. And really, it really is, Lucy is a new winning for Lucy LaDuca. Because even though she was eliminated, she was able to make a lot of great wins for her career. And we love to see that. That's how it should be. There's not really any losers here. Even Irene is coming back and she's winning. She's going to have a lot of moments, and we get to see, I was so impressed with Irene on social media. Her looks, oh my God, sickening. So let's talk about the lip syncs, y'all. So of course, Sasha versus Anitra, the one that no one wanted to be in. Oh my God. Only those two could have gone it at each other. Oh, good. Oh my gosh, no one was ready for that. No one wanted to be in that. But of course, the most iconic lip sync of this season has to go to Anitra versus Marsha, because I felt like Marsha, what makes it so iconic, it was the fact that Marsha was able to hold her own in that lip sync, because I really thought, Marsha was gonna just fall and let Anitra mop her on the ground, but Marsha, she put up a good fight. The internet really lit up for this lip sync, and I do believe it should have been a double save. I thought this was gonna be a double save because I feel like Marsha, she really did put up that fight against Miss Anitra, okay? So the girls, we talk about Lollapalooza and choosing opponents. And I will say, in this season, what should have happened, which was a missed opportunity, was a lip sync with Malaysia versus Mistress. I would live. They have to, okay, if they didn't do it on the show, they have to plan another show with these two queens going at it, because I would have loved to see a lip sync between Malaysia versus Mistress. Oh my God, that would have been an amazing performance. But Malaysia, she's sticking with her story. She's saying the reason why she picked Marsha to lip sync is not because she thought Marsha was easy, but she was just standing right there, so she just picked her. But I don't know. I didn't believe it. I didn't buy it. The rest of us are not buying it. We know why she picked Marsha. So we get in a little bit about the romances on the show. We met, oh my God, remember Robin and Amethyst, they used to date. And so Ru asked if the door is still open or is the chapter closed. So first off, I want to address Robin. She looks so fine. Miss Sasha Fierce, she is fierce. Not Miss Sasha Fierce, Miss Robin Fierce. She looks so good. And I was actually proud of Amethyst. Amethyst looked really great for this episode. And so, of course, it's closed. The chapter is closed and it seems sealed shut. That's never going to happen. That was a cute little moment. Ha ha, he he. Let's move on, moving forward. So Ru asked if any other people had any crushes here on the show. And apparently, Aura Maori had a crush on Poppy. And I was surprised because I didn't know about that. And then she asked if she still has this crush, and she does. But then we also learned that Aura is getting married, and she asked the girls not to buy presents, but to donate to the defense fund for the ACLU defense funds to help these queens and protect their rights. Okay, and I thought that was so sweet and so kind of Aura, but of course it's not a shocker. So we get some questions from the queens, from some former queens. We have Coco Montrese. She asks Marsha, has her makeup skills improved these days? And I was gagged. Guess what? Marsha, her skills not only improved, she has a makeup collab coming up. So she really gets the last laugh of this. And that's good for her. I'm happy to see this. I'm happy to learn this for her because her makeup was not to the standards of what I thought should have been on RuPaul's Drag Race. But for her to get a makeup collab, girl, get your money, get your coins. So next we had Asia O'Hare. And she asked Sasha who's her favorite drag queen. And I want to know too, everyone wants to know who's her favorite, who she looks up to. But she's for the legends, Miss Monica Monroe. And it's a no-brainer because how she embodies drags, you can see Monica Monroe in the way she does her movement, the way she dances, the way she captivates an audience. Of course. Next we have Miss Deja Sky. And she asked Robin if she could get a discount for a TV. And I'm like, why she asked that? But we learned that Robin, she used to work at Best Buy. And not only she used to work at Best Buy, but she used to work fully beat at Best Buy. And I'm like, girl, that is you living in your truth. So she said that she would, come beat and then after go to her gigs at the club and perform at the club. And that's someone who is serious and who's living her truth. These girls, don't mess with them, don't play with them, don't play with them, don't play with them. Next, we have Aquaria. And Aquaria, she has a moment with Irene and the girls. It was really a moment where this is Irene getting her praise. She was on one episode, so I said, okay, we needed to have that. So we then have Drew Barrymore, who asked, do you blame it on the edit, Lucy LaDuca? And I'm happy to hear this from Lucy, but of course you don't know if this is like a professional response or if she's serious response, okay? So Lucy LaDuca says she has learned a lot from the show and viewing herself, so she learns to, have more fun, be more relaxed, and not so serious. So we get questions from the moms of these drag queens, and I'm like, ooh, what do they got to say? So Robin's mom came for Mistress, y'all. Mistress been running her mouth. And so Mama Robin wants to come check Mistress on behalf of her baby. So she said to Mistress, why'd you came for my baby's hair like that? And, I thought that was so funny and so cute. But, Mistress, she was so sweet, and she said, oh, that's the old her, that's not the new her. The new her is in her congenial era, so that's the old Mistress. So okay, that was a cute little response. Aura's mom, she came for Spice. Aura's mom wanted the smoke, okay? She said, Spice, why you thought my daughter was in the bottom? Because if she was in the bottom, she could outdance you. And Spice, that one brain cell, she's like, yeah, you're right. I'm mistaken. I'm like, yes, Spice, as you thought. Next, we get to see some unseen footage of some reads. And out of all the reads, I think the best reads was from Princess Poppy. And I was not ready for that because I was not feeling Princess Poppy in the season. But girl, if I knew you could read like that, I wouldn't play with the girl. If she knew me, she would have read me for filth. Oh gosh. So let's talk about the gates, y'all. This season was the season of gates. So Metal Gate, okay? Malaysia, remember Metal Gate was when it was a fight between country and doing metal and rock or hip hop, whatever. So Malaysia, she felt she didn't know Lux that well to be beefing or kikiing with her like that. So she had to stand up for herself. So that's what was that all about. And Lux, she understood and she respected that because Mistress and Malaysia have this banter, but Malaysia didn't have this banter with Lux. So Malaysia felt like she had to defend herself. Now with the baby bump gate about Miss Beyonce having a bump or not during her performance, Lucy admits that Lux was right. And I think that's really good. I thought she was going to stand by it to this day. But that's good that, she wants to move on. She clarifies things. She says, yeah, Lux was right. So then we get a Heaven Gate. Now, Heaven Gate, Lux says that she gave it to Lucy, and she did that because she wanted everyone to get along and move forward because they all have to work together. But she says it could be possible if she wanted to do a little sabotage, because if Lucy didn't do well in that part, it would all have fell on her. So that would have been good for Lux. So, a little bit of strategy. So then we have 40-inch gate. Now with 40-inch gate, this was Irene's other moment. Irene was looking out for Lux because Lux paid for a 32-inch thinking that she got 40 inches. And I was like, okay, Irene, have your moment. We're enjoying it. I didn't mind Irene, but it's okay. So let's get into the fashion, the unseen looks. So the unseen looks, we've seen them before because if you're on social media, you've seen it. You've seen the looks. You saw what they gave. So some of the top unseen looks on the show was Amethyst Shredded Look. And I thought it was great. I would rate this quite high. I gave it a 10. I would want to see how she would have performed this on the runway, because I feel like that adds the other dimension in the rating, you know? Because yeah, you could take a picture and pose after so much time, but to see the look come alive on the runway is something different. Next we have, oh my god, Aura Mayori, her Beyonce look. I think that would have been the number one look for that episode. Her look was so exquisite. That was a 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And I wish she was able to give that look a whole runway that moment. It was phenomenal. The details, unless we're doing Photoshop, I don't know. Now with Malaysia, her glove look, I thought it was super sexy. I would have rated it like extraordinarily high. I gave it like maybe an 8.2 because I feel like it's like kind of similar to her other looks, like maybe her entrance look. So I wasn't really like quite blown away from this, but I see the vision. Now with Irene Dubois, her puffer look, I thought her makeup was exquisite. But I felt like she was kind of giving like a Persian genie in a bottle kind of look. And I don't know. For me, I felt like maybe that's borderline cultural appropriation. I don't know. But the makeup was really good. It was really, really good. Because I feel like that look is more of a Raja look. So for her to do a Raja look, I was like, I see it. It's okay. So, you know, based on that look alone that she came up with for Irene, it seemed like she was planning to stay longer in the competition because it was like very detailed, very, very, very detailed. But I don't know, I wouldn't be safe to rate this look high on her because I feel like it is culture appropriation. So tooted and booted. So the girls go over the looks and we learn if it's a toot, if it's a boot, or what it is. So Sasha Puffer Please look was a toot. That's a no-brainer. Duh. I gave that a 10. Malaysia's entrance look, I gave it a toot. The girls gave it a toot, but I would rate it like maybe like a 8.5. I like it. It was okay, but I really want to see more of Malaysia and her looks. Now with Marsha Nightmare look, it was a boot. Girl, that didn't stand no chance. It was a boot. It was a 0. Anitra's crystallized look was a toot. That was a 10. Lucy's bag of balls was a boot. No, that's a 1. For Lux's crystallized look was a 2. That's a 10. For Mistress Night of 1,000 Beyonce, some of the girls said toot, some of the girls said boot, some of the other girls said toot. Now, what did I think? I think it was a boot because I didn't like the Muppets pretty much. I didn't like it too much. I didn't like it. So I gave it a boot. For Jack's Beautiful Nightmare, Jack's booted, so we don't have to rate it. Robin, who she is look, is a toot. She looked beautiful. She looked stunning. Aura, Beautiful Nightmare, toot. But they said the dress is a toot, but the acting was a boot. And we get who wins the Golden Boot Award for the fashion flop. You don't want to win this award. And, you know, the nominees were Marsha, Jax, and Selena Estitis. I feel like Princess Poppy could have been one of the nominees. But I feel like, I felt bad for Selena. Selena won something, y'all. She won this award, and I was like, oh, dang. Oh, no. So let's talk about Lux calling Lucy drag generic. So we have a whole moment here, and I didn't like this because Lucy, she said how hurt she was and if Lux took joy in it. And you know, I felt like in that moment Lux was doing this to have a laugh at Lucy. I felt like Lux was just saying what was on her mind. And, you know, Lucy felt like, she went in, she felt like, Lux should have been the one that she would have said to go home because based on her performance. So she was trying to be mean and have her moment. And I felt like, okay, you're going to send the whole fans over to Lux to make her feel a kind of way. I felt like I didn't like this. I'm like, Lucy, you were doing so well, but then you got to do this. So I felt like it was 2 steps for Lucy, but 10 steps back. On a serious note, the queens discuss, the political issues at hand, where the queens are attacked by politics. And we have our queens out in the forefront making political statements, holding protests, and informing people. I was so proud of Aura Mayori, and especially proud of Robin Fierce, who's the first drag queen to speak at Yale Law. How impressive is that? And we learned that, the queens, they're at fear of going to work. For example, Malaysia, she booked a job in Nashville, but she's concerned with the climate at this time, whether she should be in fear while she's working. Also, we have Sasha. She's specifically, feels targeted because she's a trans woman, and she feels more nervous traveling because what if she goes to the restroom and someone who recognized her and that isn't a fan of her was to do something that can harm her, so she feels a fear. And I like that this episode highlights and put emphasis on what's going on in the community with all the seriousness that's going on in the climate right now. I'm happy that RuPaul gives a platform for these issues to be discussed. But on a positive note, we do get Connecticut government showing their support to our queens, especially the ones who are from Connecticut, Robin, Amethyst, and Lucy. So I did appreciate that, to give some positive, give some hope, a glimmer of hope is all we need. And we have more moments moving forward, but I really appreciate that time we took to really take focus at the issue at hand. So back to gather her moment, Irene, she comes back for some more screen time. And y'all, it's about a case of who did it. Irene has this whole moment saying that she heard Mistress says something about her filler not being enough filler in her face, that her face is sagging, that, oh no, that wasn't her who said that, but that was Lucy Duca who said that, and it's just like a case who done it. None of the girls are admitting to what they said, so it was just a moment for Irene to have screen time. But I got the most excited in seeing the drag excellence, okay? So we first up for drag excellence is Anitra and her talent show performance. She finally gets to address about her and her dancing skills, if it's voguing, if it's not. And she says it's voguish, and I love her for that because she stands on what she does as a performer. She's going to give what she's going to give you, and that's that, okay? So Lux, her drag excellence, we get to see her fashion zebra pants moment. And she says that this was one of her proudest moments in the show because she felt like she really got to showcase her talent and perform it in front of one of her icons, So I was very proud of Lux in that moment too. So I thought she looked so exquisite. I can't believe she made that pant in that competition in that very moment. That was so impressive. We then get to talk about and see the drag excellence from Mistress. Now for Mistress, oh my God, we get to reflect back to Daytona Wynn's performance. And in the unseen footage, I can't believe how much she got Rue to laugh. Like, this girl is something special. Like, that laugh from Rue is from such a genuine place. Like, if you're able to make Rue laugh, oh my God, girl. And what was interesting is that she has never done acting personally. Like, she has never taken a class or anything like that. So this raw talent, oh my God, that is something that's such a gift to have. I was so proud of her in this moment. And then we are reminded of Sasha Kobe blame it on the edit video. Her moment as a video vixen. Oh, that look was so sick, and it was giving. It was giving, y'all. So I don't know who's gonna win this, but next episode is our final episode where these queens are gonna be doing a solo performance, and I can't wait to see what it's gonna give. I just know I don't know. I don't know how to rank it. I love them all. It's like I think of one and then I remember the other one and say, no, I like this one more. It's just a great top 4, and I'm so proud of all our queens, but specifically these 4 queens, because they're gonna give whoever wins a run for their money, y'all. So if you like this recap, stay tuned for next week's recap on the final episode of RuPaul Drag Race. Take care and have a good one, y'all. Bye.